You've been lied to your whole life about what power actually looks like. Every LinkedIn guru, every productivity influencer, every self-help bestseller tells you the same thing. Communicate more, share your journey, be transparent, be authentic, be vocal. And while you've been busy doing all of that, posting updates, explaining your plans, justifying your decisions, defending your reputation online, someone quieter than you just took everything you were working toward, not because they were smarter, not because they worked harder, because they learned the one skill nobody teaches anymore. They learned when to shut up. Niccolò Machiavelli, a man who survived political exile, torture chambers, and the complete collapse of the Florentine Republic, wrote a book 500 years ago that still gets studied in war colleges and banned in boardrooms. And the chapter nobody quotes on YouTube. It's not about ruthlessness, it's not about manipulation, it's about silence. Today we're going to break down exactly why the most powerful people in every room say the least, and how you can use this to win in negotiations, in your career, in relationships, and in every high-stakes moment that determines where your life goes. Here's the paradox nobody wants to admit. The more you explain yourself, the weaker you become. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "Men in general judge more by the eyes than by the hands, for everyone can see, but few can feel." Read that again slowly. People judge you by what they observe, not by what you tell them. And when you tell them too much, when you explain your reasoning, justify your moves, and narrate your strategy in real time, you remove the gap between their perception and your reality. And that gap, that's where your power lives. Think about Warren Buffett, one of the most studied investors in history. Journalists follow his every move. Analysts dissect his portfolio quarterly. And yet, nobody, not a single competitor, has ever known what Buffett's next move was before he made it. He doesn't hint, he doesn't tease, he doesn't post about deals he's considering. He executes in silence and announces in results. That's not an accident, that's a 500-year-old principle operating in a suit. Machiavelli understood it this way: the vulgar crowd is always taken by appearances. When you control what people see, you control what people believe, and when you speak constantly, you hand that control to everyone listening. Every time you open your mouth unnecessarily, you pay a tax. Most people don't know these taxes exist until they've already gone broke. When you announce your plans, you chain yourself to them. Change your mind, and suddenly you're inconsistent. Pivot your strategy, and you're unreliable. The person who speaks their intentions into existence before executing gives every competitor a roadmap and every critic a measuring stick. Machiavelli warned about this directly. The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. He wasn't endorsing dishonesty. He was recognizing that binding yourself to past declarations destroys your ability to respond to present reality. The person who stays silent about their moves, they adapt freely. They pivot without owing anyone an explanation. They execute, and then let the results speak louder than the announcement ever could have. Every time you over-explain, you show people exactly how your mind works. This sounds harmless. It isn't. Machiavelli wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." By extension, the first method for estimating anyone's strategic intelligence is to simply listen to how much they unnecessarily reveal. When people understand your thought process, they can predict you. When they can predict you, they can counter you. When they can counter you, your advantage is gone. In your career, this plays out in meetings where someone talks themselves out of a great idea by exposing every doubt and caveat before the idea has a chance to land. In negotiations, it's the moment you explain why you need the deal, because the second the other side knows you need it, you've already lost. There is a direct and inverse relationship between how much you speak and how much weight each word carries. Machiavelli described his ideal prince as someone who speaks with such deliberate precision that subjects feel a kind of religious awe in his presence. That awe doesn't survive overexposure, it evaporates the moment the leader starts justifying every decision and narrating every thought. The colleague who talks in every meeting, who has an opinion on everything, who responds to every message in 4 minutes becomes background noise. Their words stop landing because there are too many of them. Contrast that with the person who speaks rarely but precisely. When they open their mouth, the room goes quiet. Their scarcity creates value. Their restraint signals that they have somewhere more important to be than this conversation. This is the most expensive tax and the hardest to recover once you've paid it. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must imitate the fox and the lion, for the lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. The fox's first weapon is not speed or strength, it is the fact that no one fully understands it. It moves unseen, it acts unpredictably. When you share everything, your insecurities, your plans, your half-formed opinions, your failures in real time, you become completely known. And what is completely known cannot be extraordinary. Think about the most magnetic people in your life. There is always something slightly unreachable about them, something you can't quite categorize. That quality is not accidental. It is the direct result of strategic restraint. You cannot manufacture mystique, but you can stop destroying it. Machiavellian silence is not one thing. It operates in 3 distinct modes, each serving a different strategic purpose. Mode 1. Intelligence, silence. This is the silence you use before you know enough. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Applied to speech, the fool speaks immediately and gathers information slowly and expensively. The wise person gathers first, so when they act with total precision. Most people treat conversations as performances, chances to display what they know, what they think, and who they are. The strategic thinker treats every conversation as an intelligence operation. The objective isn't to impress, the objective is to collect. Before you share your position on anything that matters, ask yourself, do I fully understand their position? If the answer is no, keep asking questions, keep listening. Let them talk until you have a complete picture. This is why whoever speaks first in a negotiation loses is not a trick, it's a strategic truth. When you speak first, you set the ceiling or the floor. When you listen first, you discover what the ceiling and floor actually are. Then you position accordingly. Mode 2. Authority silence. This is the silence you deploy when you have enough information and choose not to respond. Not because you can't, but because responding would cost you more than staying quiet. This is the hardest mode to master because it means resisting one of the most powerful human impulses, the urge to defend yourself. Machiavelli observed, "A prince should be slow to believe and slow to act, nor should he himself show fear." That slowness, that deliberate refusal to react immediately to every provocation, is not passivity. It is the display of someone so secure in their position that they don't need to react. Kobe Bryant was famous for this. Trash talk is currency in the NBA. Most players engage it, which means the trash talker wins whether the insult lands or not, because you've handed them your attention. Kobe's response to most trash talk was not a counter. It was silence followed by points on the board. He understood instinctively what Machiavelli articulated 5 centuries earlier: your reaction is a resource. Spend it carefully. When someone criticizes you publicly and you respond with a lengthy defense, what are you communicating? That their attack landed, that you consider them worthy of your energy. Authority silence says the opposite, not with words, but with the absence of them. Mode 3. Ambiguity. Silence. This is the most sophisticated mode and the one that separates strategic thinkers from everyone else. Machiavelli advised that a prince must avoid those things which would make him hated or despised, and one of the fastest ways to generate both is to commit prematurely to a position that alienates those who disagree. Ambiguity silence is the deliberate refusal to clarify when clarity would lock you into a corner. The moment you define your position with full specificity, everyone who disagrees with that specific position becomes your opponent. The moment you detail your entire plan, every flaw in that plan becomes visible to people who want to use it against you. Strategic ambiguity lets different people project different things onto you simultaneously. The negotiation that serves multiple parties often succeeds precisely because each party heard something slightly different, and the strategist was disciplined enough not to correct the misalignment. This isn't deception. Machiavelli was clear on this distinction. Men must either be caressed or crushed. The ambiguity he advocated was not about deceiving allies. It was about preserving flexibility against those who would use precision against you in leadership. Articulate the destination with clarity. Keep the route deliberately open. Watch how it builds coalition instead of fragmenting it. Understanding why strategic silence works psychologically makes you dramatically better at deploying it. Silence creates projection. The human mind cannot tolerate informational voids. Machiavelli recognized this with unsettling precision. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. Strategic silence doesn't deceive, it simply creates the void. Then the other person's mind does the rest. When you go quiet in a high-stakes moment, the other person fills that silence with their own fears, assumptions, and insecurities. Skilled interrogators have known this for decades. Silence extracts more than direct questioning does, because silence puts the discomfort entirely on the other person. In a negotiation, when you state your number and then say nothing, truly nothing, the other side experiences that silence as pressure. They start talking, and the moment they start talking, you start learning. Silence inverts the power dynamic. In any conversation, the person talking most is seeking something: approval, agreement, validation. The person speaking least is evaluating. An evaluation is always the power position. This is why the job candidate who asks 3 precise probing questions often makes a stronger impression than the candidate who talks enthusiastically for an hour. The enthusiastic one was seeking. The precise questioner was evaluating. Machiavelli understood this as an expression of his core principle: it is better to be the judge than the one being judged. Silence manufactures status. Status is not declared, it is perceived. And one of the fastest signals of high status is the ability to let silence exist without rushing to fill it. The pause before you speak signals that your words are measured, not reflexive. It signals internal security, that you don't need noise to feel safe in a room. These are qualities that anxious, low-status people cannot project no matter how hard they try. And the gap between their behavior and yours creates immediate status differential without a single word spoken. Here is where Machiavelli becomes genuinely dangerous to the modern self-help industry. We live in a culture that has deified transparency, authentic leadership, radical honesty, vulnerable sharing. These are the sacred doctrines of the current era. And they are not without value, but they are being practiced without the one thing Machiavelli would insist on: discernment. Machiavelli never argued for dishonesty. His argument, consistent throughout the Prince and Discourses on Livy, was always about selective disclosure, sharing what advances your objective, withholding what doesn't. The modern transparency trap catches intelligent, well-intentioned people who have confused authenticity with strategic exposure. They share works in progress before they're ready to withstand evaluation. They voice self-doubt publicly when it creates no benefit. They reveal negotiating positions before understanding what they're negotiating against. This isn't authenticity, it's strategic surrender dressed up as virtue. Ask one question before every disclosure: does saying this serve my objective, or does it just make me feel better temporarily? If it's the former, speak. If it's the latter, Machiavelli would tell you to shut up. Discipline 1. The information first rule. Before sharing your position on anything consequential, ask at least 3 questions. Gather, map the terrain. Then speak with precision instead of speaking to fill space. Machiavelli called this the difference between the fox and the lion. The lion charges. The fox reads the room first. Be the fox. Discipline 2. Silence. Comfort training. In your next uncomfortable silence, a negotiation, a conflict, a high-stakes conversation, do not fill it. Count to 5. Let it breathe. Practice is tolerating what most people cannot. The discomfort you feel in that silence is exactly where your leverage lives. Discipline 3, the 30-day disclosure audit. For the next 30 days, before you post anything online, before you explain yourself to a colleague, before you reveal your next move to a friend, pause and ask, am I sharing this to advance something or to feel something? You will be stunned by how much you were giving away for free. Machiavelli put it this way: never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception. In the modern context, never attempt to win by unnecessary disclosure what can be won by strategic silence. Machiavelli's name became synonymous with ruthlessness. The irony is that his deepest and most powerful insight had nothing to do with force. It had to do with restraint. In a world drowning in noise, in opinions, hot takes, announcements, and confessions, the person who masters strategic silence doesn't just stand out. They win by default, because everyone else is too busy talking about the game to notice that the quiet one already finished it. The vulgar crowd, Machiavelli wrote, is always taken by appearances and results. Stop explaining, stop justifying, stop announcing, execute in silence, win in public, and let the results be the only words you ever needed.